to be honest.
And here we have Jack Frost, a wonderful Atlas mascot, because this game is made by Atlas, or
Oh,
published by
published by Atlas.
made by Vanillaware.
Yeah, thanks, Atlas. This was a great game to help get forward. But we're going to go ahead and load up a save file here, because the game, the way you unlock characters in the game is kind of like progressive. So to unlock one, you have to at first beat Gwendolyn's book, and then you get Cornelius' book, and then you get the next book, and so on and so forth.
It's a very segmented story in which you can play as one of up to 5 characters. We offered 2 for simplicity's sake for the incentive, but there are 5 different characters that each have their own different way of playing. And so for the most part, it plays like an RPG, but they're all kind of doing their own little stories.
Yeah.
And have their own stats. They all start at level 1 and just play through.
All right. So I have Pat the Cat. We're all good to go. So counting down, 3, 2, 1, start.
All right. So to briefly explain who Cornelius is, he's the prince of a kingdom, and he has a curse happen to him in which he is turned into a puka, which is a Celtic mythological being, which he looks kind of cutesy in this game. That's just kind of the Japanese like cutesy art style to the game, which the game has gorgeous artwork, by the way. But a normal puka is actually kind of like a child kidnapping, soul sucking
Monster.
demon, like monster
That's
basically.
what I think of when I think of something like that.
Yeah, but in this game, I personally affectionately refer to him as the Bunny Man because he looks a lot like a rabbit. Also,
Yeah,
he can spin.
They tried to humanize them a little bit more in this game because they're the puka are basically a cursed people. So you're naturally supposed to feel sympathetic for them.
Yeah, so you can skip all cutscenes, or all upcoming cutscenes, which makes the run fairly quick. But right now we're getting into the first battle stage. This game's system is a 2D beat-em-up style game. So for anyone who's actually played Vanilla, the original Odin Sphere, it was a very methodical action RPG. There wasn't a whole lot of combos and like variety of attacks. Leifthrasir
I kind of want to check what those are.
Leifthrasir actually made a lot of quality of life changes in which they incorporated some mechanics from one of Vanillaware's games that came in between the original PS2 Odin Sphere and Leifthrasir, which was a game called Muramasa, the Demon Blade. And that was a lot more action-packed, so they incorporated some of the design from that game into this version. They also completely redid the art, and it looks absolutely gorgeous on the PS3 and PS4.
For a lot of the art, they didn't even have to redraw it or anything. Because again, this game was originally on PS2, they actually drew a lot of this art in HD originally and downscaled it to make it fit on the PS2.
So right there, he just unlocked a ability called Spiral Claw. You can unlock a ton of different abilities and use what are called phosons, the little pink things that you see floating around, to upgrade them. You can actually use the phosons to upgrade a lot of different things. We're going to be using it mainly for those. You can upgrade your weapon as well, but the stats it gives aren't as important for the run as upgrading skills.
We're mostly focusing on a couple of particular skills because we're looking for efficient control power hits from our POW-based skills, like Spiral Claw. This skills are broken up into a skill that will either activate via the POW gauge, or a skill that is activated using Phoson points. And you'll notice, like, underneath my HP, there's this 18 out of 18 number there. That indicates my Phoson points.
Yeah, so you see he's starting to get a big chain of over 50 hits. You can chain attacks for hundreds and hundreds of hits in this game. Partly because, like I said, the improved combat system gave you a lot more options in combat. So much of combat is kind of chaining together different types of attacks in a pseudo-fighting game kind of style. You also see at the end of each screen where there are enemies or battle stages or boss stages, he will get a rank. He wants to get S rank every single time if he can because it gets him the most money. And the ways to get this are to complete the stage quickly, to not take damage, and to rack up a high chain. The biggest one, of course, being how quickly
Oh my
you beat the
god!
stage.
Thank you.
So
Yeah, the guys teleport, and when they're blue cloaked like that, they're invincible. Normally, you're encouraged to either like use a light or a shine potion or the make them uninvincible. That was really frustrating.
Yeah, so a lot of the screens, you actually can pull up a map to see the layout of each area. Battle stages are circular, but there are plenty of rest stages as well that are just kind of a straight line. So like here, everything is sort of like circular. If you go far enough left, you'll just loop around.
Do we have a moment to read off a donation?
Sure, go right ahead.
So just when we thought we were done with these recursive donations, we have a $5 donation from $5 donation that says we got a $5 donation. So thank you very much. That actually puts us at just over 3,100. So keep it coming.
Thank you very much. All right, so I'm just kind of going through. I'm opening up all these chests because I'm going to need all this money later on. My money route is actually pretty tight.
So kind of some context for why we're here. At the beginning of the first story of the game, which is Gwendolyn, you go to the Netherworld, sort of to, like, I don't know what the exact opposite of a bookend is, but you start Cornelius' story in the last area of Gwen's story. Of course, the enemies are, you know, accommodate for your level. And you're in the Netherworld because basically what's happened is there is an imposter in your kingdom who has taken over, and you've been cursed with the curse of the Puka. The fact that you're alive, let alone able to control a cipher, which is the name of his blue sword, is actually kind of a shock to most people in the story.
Yeah, there's a lot of more deep, like, story stuff involved with this game that I honestly don't remember all the finer details. Give me these last photons. I'm actually going to need them. Hopefully this boss gives me some good luck with enemy spawns, which is weird. This is like the first game I actually think where I want the boss to spawn more enemies for me.
Yeah, so this is the Queen. She is one of the last bosses of Gwen's story, but she's a lot easier here. She has lots more nasty attacks on that fight. So one of the key mechanics with this game is obviously chaining your combo, but one of the best ways to do that is for many bosses, when you deplete their health bar, it's sort of like Kingdom Hearts in that you'll see the health bar deplete all the way, and then there's a pink bar above it. Every time you clear an orange bar, the pink bar above it goes down, and this will also knock back the enemy, which will allow Ozzy to get more fancy aerial combos.
Yep. I went ahead and I planted some seeds here because I'm actually trying to grow some fruit during these periods where I can't attack her. So we're going to eat these later.
Yeah. So the reason he's picking up food is not for healing. It's actually because this game's EXP system, you get very little EXP from combat after like level 5. So most of it's going to come from the food that you consume. Like, it just gives you flat EXP. Although we're going to abuse an item later to give us a ludicrous amount of EXP for that portion. So that allows us to kind of accelerate that. So you'll notice actually there are several different resources. There's obviously your HP, which is the orange meter at the top left. Above that is your POW meter. Skills that you unlock will use, many of them, most of the physical skills will use the POW meter, and this replenishes over the course of time. You'll also have abilities that will unlock later that use phosons, which are the thing below the HP meter, where it says like 18 out of 18. Some skills use phosons, and the way those replenish is by picking up phosons on the screen. So this game has sort of 3 resources, and that was a pretty solid fight.
Yeah, unfortunately she did not spawn any mooks, so I am a little short on phosons than I would like to be. Because every time you kill one of those mooks, it's one more phoson you get, and she can spawn quite a bit. But we're going to take this moment to upgrade this. See, right now I have less than 60, because normally I would have enough to get that other skill, Spiral Crawl, to level 3. But because she didn't spawn anymore, I just going to have to deal with that.
So now we're heading to Demon Lord Odin's castle.
Nebulopolis.
Yes, this game is called Leifthrasir, Leifthrasir. Odin is actually a major part in the story. Sort of the story of this game, it depends on each character. They're off doing their own thing. Cornelius in particular is trying to, first of all, get his old self back, And he also has like a mad crush on a neighboring kingdom's princess, Velvet. But the main portion of the story is there's this item called the Cauldron. You want to explain what the Cauldron is, Ozzy?
It is a vessel to create phosons. Think of phoson as a resource in war. So the Cauldron in the story is a thing that can create phosons, literally create something from nothing. So whoever controls the Cauldron basically has unlimited war resources. Yeah, people will fight over that stuff. All right.
So essentially it's sort of a world of kind of like people warring for various things.
But yeah, it honestly, the game's overall story is more like a kind of like different take of the tale of Ragnarok, the end of the world.
Yeah. Also, one thing I've always thought is, at least we don't get to see the cutscenes, but I always thought the cutscenes were kind of interesting in this game because they're told in like sort of like an 18th, 17th century like theatrical way. Like a character will go off on a soliloquy on the side with a spotlight like hanging over them and everything dimming. It's a really neat game. I would definitely recommend playing it. We're not getting too much into the story, just a little bits
good.
of context.
I got a
here and there.
habanero spawn on the screen. Stop jumping.
Yeah, so we haven't used items much yet, but things like the habanero, I think it's the habanerista.
Yeah, I just said habanero because that's a normal word I can say.
Yeah, so those are actually going to be used for this game's alchemy system, which is going to create potions. The potions just have various effects, many of them for combat, some of them for self-buffs.
Stop walking. Okay, I'm getting a lot of food drops. That's kind of... typically in runs, I actually kind of gamble on food drops rather than grow my own food. So whenever I get moments like this, I got a lot of food to eat. I'm only going to eat 5, though. 5 will get me the XP I need. The extra 2, I'm just going to... I guess I can just use an alchemy to boost up the levels and stuff. Okay, mid-boss. This boss is going to be a great example of, like, what is the main thing we're really going to do with runs, with several fights here, and that is air juggling.
You're going to see Ozzy just perform some big hit combos. Despite the fact that he generally makes it look kind of easy, it's not. Like, this game, it's really hard to continually deal damage and time all of your attacks, like the right attacks at the right time, in such a way that you're able to continue your combo without ever taking a hit. And he cannot really afford to take very many hits, especially later when he's going to start racking up damage. Although Leifthrasir made the game a little bit easier by expanding the combat. Oh, nice.
There we go.
It's still not an easy run by any means, and he can very well die. Thankfully, it is safe in that when you die, you go back to the last screen you were on with all the resources you had before you enter the screen. You just lose time.
Yeah, I don't want to lose time, though. That'd be nice if I didn't lose time. He dropped a healing tonic. Wow, that's incredibly useless. I'm not gonna lie. If I use a healing tonic in this run, I'm going to really be biting my tongue. Okay, that was really good right there, because my general strategy for fighting like this is to set myself up just as enemies spawn in like this, and use Spiral Claw to force them to group up into each other, launch them in the air, and finish them off all in a few swings, you know, rather than trying to pick them off one at a time. Here, yes, I'm in the right spot. Trying to remember exactly which side of the room I want to be on after the end of the battle, so I'm just not running halfway across the map is kind of important too. All right, grab these. Yeah, I am super short on my foes on count.
Yeah, so you want to be careful here because if Ozzy were to fall off into one of those pits, he would go to an area below and he cannot actually get back up without taking a rather roundabout way back.
I want these extra phosons. Oh my god, they're never coming.
So this is a secret chest. Gets him a Phoson Prism, which gives him a new ability.
Yeah.
So in this game, you can actually, if you look at the map, there are a ton of different screens you can go to. We're only going to the ones that are absolutely necessary to complete each area, but there's all sorts of just battle screens and little hidden things that you can do in some of these rooms, some of them that require like specific items, specific abilities. So there's a lot of room to explore. We're really only just doing the essentials here.
Yep.
Also want to say the movement and combat in this game, like although it is a 2D brawler RPG hybrid, there's a lot of really cool little movement options. Like you see him just spinning across the screen. It's half of what makes this game fun for me personally, is just being able to dance around. So right here, he's combining he's selling a bunch of things that he doesn't need. I'll get to combine
It just
later.
takes up bag inventory space, and I'm picking it all up to sell anyway. This just helps me with my inventory space.
So as you can see, he's putting on 3 bangles that increase the damage that he gives and takes by 10%. Because we're trying to go fast, and the goal in going fast is to almost never get hit, hopefully, it's a net gain and makes the run a lot faster. Because as you can see, combat is the meat of the run, the bread and butter.
Yep.
Yeah, each of those items increases the damage he takes and deals by 10%, and they are cumulative, so he's doing 30% more and taking 30% more.
Yeah. The skill I also upgraded is kind of important too. It's called Assault High. Increases the damage I do based on the number in the chain. At currently level 3, basically what it does is if my chain is 25 hits, my damage increases by 5%. At 50, it increases to 10%. And 75, 15, up to 125 max, which is 25% more damage. So,
You're getting S's on every one of these maps.
I shouldn't get anything less than an S in this run, honestly. Okay, give me this, I'll take. But I want to go over here because over this way is a chest that is totally worth going out of the way for. Okay, make sure. I just wanted to be careful there because it's easy to fall. Okay, use this, warp. It's actually, oh wait, I did it too fast, darn it.
It is faster to open the door, warp, and then warp back, and the door will be open. It's faster than just waiting for the door to open by a small amount of time.
Yeah. All right, this is Brigand. Brigand's kind of annoying because this is a boss that has these shields on him, and until you destroy those shields, you can't do any damage to him.
Brigand is basically a high-ranking general in Odin's army who secretly wants to betray him and get the power for himself. Yeah, so you have to break the 4 shields on his chest in order to start dealing damage to him, but then after that we get to go to town.
All right, now I want to take this, use it now, because just Fire Spirits really provide some consistency for this fight. Because I'm on a little bit of a timer. At a certain point, after I think half his health is gone, Valkyries are going to show up. And you really drop a healing tonic, you turd? Okay.
So,
The Valkyries show up and they repair his armor. Really bad. Really annoying.
so the goal is to kill off the Valkyries before they can put his armor back on.
I don't even
Well,
want to kill the
still
Valkyries. I want to
hurting.
kill him before they even get a chance.
So as you can see, the main benefit of Fire Spirits is passive damage that increases your chain.
I knew I forgot something. Don't you dare! Don't you dare!
Yeah, so he just stunned the Valkyries there to prevent them from healing. The other thing is the Fire Spirits inflict Burn, which, similar to Burn and Poison in a lot of other games, just inflicts gradual damage over time.
No, don't you dare.
The brief pause there is actually a crit. In almost every other game, you'd want to see the crits, but in this game, crits are not very good because they mess with your rhythm in combat, because combat kind of has sort of this rhythm to it. And they also, they actually do less damage than you would by just continually hammering away.
Well, it's just because that whole animation, it's like, look how cool we are! Freeze frame. Okay, now we can hit him. Okay. Go down here. I have 62. That's good. That means I can upgrade one particular skill.
Yeah, Phozons you collect and can upgrade abilities. You can also get yourself some nice little passive benefits. Every time you level up, you get an ability point, so you can just spend them on some of these as well.
Here we nope, right here. Menuing is hard. So with this, I get another 2 attack points. On to the next chapter. There. Also, one little kind of interesting trick I'm doing this run, it's kind of not obvious, is it's called an evade jump, evade cancel jump. It basically is exactly how it sounds. I I activate an evade, which, you know, an evade is like this, right? But if I start a jump at the very start of the evade, all the momentum from the evade gets transferred to my jump. Which is really, really nice. The cool thing is, too, is it works in midair. So there's just it really gives a huge amount of flexibility to your movement in this game. Yeah, I went too far. And spin. And bears. I hate bears. The Grizzlies,
This is
they can
Caliphon. Those words are sacrilege.
yeah, but these bears throw honey, and if they hit you with the honey, you cannot move, and they gang up on you and gnaw on you, and it's terrible. I've had it happen. I don't like it.
I hope you mean in the game.
Stop.
Okay.
All right, this mid-boss has a couple of nasty attacks, but for the most part, we can wail on them pretty good. It'd be nice if I had another potion to use here. I was hoping for a burn.
Yeah, so some of the potions you can use offensively. Some of them, what they'll do is they'll do an attack that kind of travels over a little bit of a distance. Other ones is just like a stationary ball. Like, for instance, there's one that you just throw a gas cloud and it just sits there, and anything that touches it gets poisoned.
Yeah, Toxic Cloud's really powerful, but it's pretty resource heavy right now. I just don't have the materials to make it. I could make a blaze, but honestly, I'd rather save it. This boss isn't worth that.
Yeah, so each stage will have a couple of different mid-bosses, as well as a big boss, which is sort of the story boss of each area.
All right. Dead. Yeah, this is another reason why I don't worry about healing in this run, even when I take a bunch of damage. Every time I level up, technically heals me a little bit anyways. Okay. Please get through. Now the big grizzlies are going to show up, and some enemies you'll just see of a different color. They basically just kind of like general type enemies. They have a lot more HP. They have a couple of other attacks. Hopefully we don't see any of those attacks, because I just love doing this to kill them off as quickly as I can. There. Dead. And let's move on. Right here. Get here, get all this crap that I will never use, but I will sell.
Not the bees!
Ah, bees. Oh! Oh, wait, hold on. Yes, I thought I saw habanero. I really want that, because that means I can kind of use it on the next major boss. Ah.
Yeah, there are a bunch of vegetables, which are called mandragoras in this game, that are major alchemy ingredients.
Okay, so, yeah, let's use it to... Here we go.
So if you use 2, he gets fire spirits.
Yep, and we've already explained how good this is. This guy's weak can be burn. Burn is a status effect in this game. Ah, did not do that right.
So even some bosses can be afflicted with the stun from his spark attack.
Oh, Spark just has a naturally high stun chance, period. It's why it's so nice and reliable in this game. Cornelius really is kind of broken because of that, honestly. I don't want to... This is the only downside with Fire Spirits, is I actually want to keep him on the ground. Did you notice because of just the radiating spirits, it's actually hard to keep him controlled? Stop moving, please. All right, into the air now.
Sorry, correction for what I said earlier. Fire Spirits don't add to combo.
No, but the
The
extra
damage is still really helpful, especially the burn.
Yeah, I still sped up this fight a pretty significant bit. And then he does that and slaps me in the face. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. But he did drop some things. What did he drop? A Cyclone. Okay, I'll take a Cyclone. Grab this, get all the money. And we gotta go up here. And now we're dealing with frogs. I hate frogs. There's two kinds of enemies in this game I cannot stand. Dwarves and frogs. And there is a very, very good reason why. I've already displayed how powerful potions are for the most part. These guys can use them. They will throw either a random potion or a random piece of junk, like some leftover grapes or something. Like that. That guy nearly hit me with some leftover grapes.
Yeah, one of the more peculiar things of this game is most of the fruit that you eat will leave behind something. Many of them will just leave behind a seed that you can plant. You can plant like seeds and then release phosons to have it grow into fruit. Grapes, you just eat them all and then you can just throw them at an enemy, and
Well, yeah,
it has a chance of stunning, I believe.
Yeah, the grape, it's the stem of the grapes. All right, this is a great prize. This one right here, even though it kind of forces me, he's like, hey, did you know if you mix 2 cups bean together, you can make a toxin potion? I'm like, cool, here's the materials to make it. I'm like, actually, I will take that. That is a really nice potion to have. All right, this fight is actually kind of scary at this level. I'm level 14. These guys are level 14. And I'm still level 8. Particularly because they throw a bunch of poison daggers, and I'm just being very cautious here. Okay. This fight also goes on for quite a while. They really just like throwing all the goblins at this point out of the map. Okay, get them all together. Die. Okay. See, look, they're still coming.
One other little mechanic to note is when an enemy is knocked down, if they're even if they're out of health, you can still keep hitting them for more chain,
Which
for a brief period.
is not even usually worth it for the most part. Okay, ooh, nice, they dropped a muggle. Which is good. I'm going to eat some food after this, because this chest right here gives me some hot crust bun. And we're going to enter that room and start eating now. Just going to eat these 2 things. And I did that because I'm going to create a warp point, and as soon as I take the second bite here, warp. This skips a little bit of animation that I would have otherwise had to sit through. All right, this is not Velvet.
Very clearly says Velvet's imposter. So Velvet is an interesting character in how she works. So many of the stories in this game actually feature you fighting against other player characters that you get in different stories. I believe there's a character named Mercedes who you fight in every story other than Mercedes' story.
I'm pretty sure you fight her. Yeah. Ah! I hate that attack. No, don't do it. No. Okay, good. We lost her. She can literally make the floor lava, and I will die. every single time it has happened to me. Oops, I miscounted. Oh, good, good. I actually really want her to try to use a potion because she stands like stands there like an idiot while she's trying to use it. And good, good, good. This is working out really nice. I'm getting good launch luck. Sometimes she just loves to just waste my time by just doing a bunch of... Oh, and this is why I don't like the frogs. They're using random potions. Okay, let's just finish this fight.
As a note, if Ozzy is standing behind her when he starts attacking, she takes more damage, and she cannot guard, which many enemies can do. That was actually a really good fight.
Not until I get back attack, though. But
oh yeah, that's right. Sorry, that's an unlockable ability later. My bad.
Yeah, I don't have that quite yet. That's a little further down the line, just based on my ability point spending. But right now, we're going to go ahead and invest a lot of our phozons in some skills. We're particularly just going to get Spiral Claw to the next level. And then we're going to take our ability points here, and we're going to get Gourmet. This increases the experience point gain from food by 20%. This doesn't seem like much now, but we're going to do a lot of, like, speed eating.
Yeah, he's going to basically gorge himself at one point because he's been kind of holding off on eating food to level up.
I've only been eating the barest minimum to get by, because if I don't, then fights just take an extra minute longer because of just how pitiful your damage is.
So what you're saying is the bunny is very hungry.
Sure. Mini trolls. Did you know they came in mini sizes? I didn't. Not until I played this game. And they're just as fun as you think they are. Mostly because they have this habit of like rolling them into like hedgehog balls and just start running across in the room. It's really annoying. Okay. Ow. I did not mean to land on that, but whatever. We're through.
Freeze is not a status effect you particularly want to get hit with. It slows you down and just makes everything slow.
Okay,
Yeah, so
grab these. I want to make sure not to. No, damn it! I did not want to open that chest because now I have to sit through this. But I need to throw something fire at this in order to get through it. It's the kind of the game's way of teaching you is, hey, if you use fire on ice, it melts. What a shock! And drop down. Really, crit? Okay, thanks. Now we're introduced to trolls. They're like mini trolls, but bigger. And way more durable. Oh, but they're dropping grapes, which is some good luck. I'm not going to eat the grapes, but I am going to use it as alchemy ingredients to increase the potency of a particular item I have. Let's get these together. Stun the guys, and... Oh my god, they dropped 2. That is really good luck. Why am I getting lucky now? I don't trust you, game. And there's the rose mill dropped? Wow, okay. Where would I want to use that rose mill? That's the one thing about this game, because a lot of like stuff is randomly dropped for me. There is a little bit of on-the-fly thinking, because I definitely could use those extra phozons. I could even use it during this fight. this is Bugbear. I am really tempted to make a potion to speed this fight up. And do I have just a blaze? No, but I can make a decent one. Use this. Let's go. Or not a blaze, but a fire spirits. Because fire spirits actually, again, against some bosses like this who I can't launch this boss. I can stun him to hell and back, but I can never launch him. And that is what we're going to do. Oh, he dropped a blaze to make up for what I just used. How nice. How kind. By the way, this boss is named Bugbear. Clearly a bear. I really don't have so much else to say about this boss. This is universally considered the dumbest boss they added in the remake.
I'll take the occasion to remind everyone that we're only $45 away from the bonus silly run for sub-level 0 Redux, and you absolutely want to see that. So keep the donations coming in. You really want to have a bonus silly run, don't you?
That'd be cool. All right, get this. Where is that? Of course it's way over here because this map is so freaking big. Okay, good. I want the blaze though.
Yeah, there's just kind of a lot of things in this area that really get in your way. Some of the upcoming bosses are not super fun, and then obviously there's the enemies here that can just freeze you.
Yeah, I think the next boss is actually, it's kind of weird. The ice level, this particular ice level in the game has host to, like, the easiest boss in the game, and one of the harder mini bosses, and one of the hardest bosses. Period. Wagner scares me. I have every reason to fear Wagner. But the next boss is coming up here. Is really, really terrifying. It's the one after this one, after this fight. These griffins aren't too bad. I should be able to just juggle them together like this. And
so to kind of note, there are a lot more abilities you do unlock in this game, including a kind of special one you get at like level 50. It's a very long cutscene, so it's not really worth using. But kind of the problem with most of the other abilities in this game is the fact that they have fairly long animations and don't have as like consistent damage per second. So we're largely sticking to an ability that allows us to stun, and then just the spin, which allows us to build a combo or chain and do pretty decent damage alongside it.
okay, I'm a little concerned about my HP right now going to this next fight. I'm gonna I gotta eat at least something here. I might as well get the level out of it while I'm healing up, because going into this fight in low HP is suicide. This is Frostben. I'm gonna focus here. This fight is actually legitimately scary. Let's see here. Toxin, Cupped Vein. Let's go ahead and use this. Okay.
So kind of the scary thing about this fight is his hitbox is vertical, which means you can't attack on the ground, and keeping combo stuff.
Like that.
Also, he does a lot of damage.
Well, he also used an attack where it basically made it so where, oh, goodbye invincibility frames.
Yeah, so his weakness is, I believe, that pink horn on his head.
I am a little concerned about this attack. Yeah, this. Really? Okay, there we go. Thought I hit square, but it was like, no.
Trying to maintain a high chain on this guy is actually
More than anything else, it's just the little things are surrounding him. Oh, look at the top part of the screen there, where it shows like the bigger picture. Look at all the little guys around me. Ugh. And then this is the other reason why I really want this this attack up. Is because it destroys all the little enemies he can sometimes spawn. And I'm totally forgetting a strat here about using Plasma Circle. Because Plasma Circle is just actually decent against this boss.
Yeah, it works similar to the spirits, except on the except it doesn't do burn damage, which I believe he's immune to burn anyway. So
No, he's not
okay.
immune to burn. He is completely acceptable.
okay, he's being poisoned. I know
Yeah.
there's like I believe some bosses that are immune to certain status effects.
There, he's dead.
Nice, got that one done.
Yeah, like I said before, that's just a scary fight. I'm really glad to be past that one.
So yeah, as you see when he dies, he goes back to the previous screen with all stats, levels, etc.
He gives us delicious cheese for beating him. We're going to save that cheese for later, though. Come on, any eggs? No? Okay. We're not going to get any eggs. This chest is nice because it guarantees to give you Ice Spirits. Ice Spirits is kind of like Fire Spirits, only where Fire Spirits is really offensive, Ice Spirits is extremely defensive. It basically gives you 3 temporary hits where you take no damage. It's really powerful. And it's a great safety item. Okay, come on, it's just another Griffin, alright. Oh yeah, now the large ice elementals show up.
As you can see, some of the enemies he's fighting are significantly higher leveled than him. This route, you kind of have to deal with a very low-level mid-game, so a lot of, as I mentioned earlier, a lot of things can just rack up the damage on him, and it doesn't take too many hits to kill him.
It's one of those things you just kind of have to suck up and deal with in this run, unfortunately, because of it's either, yeah, I could eat some of the food I've been picking up now, but if I wait a little bit longer, I can get so much more experience points with that food that it's better to just wait. Alright, this is actually an optional fight, but the reward I get off of this fight is so dang good, it's totally worth going out of the way to do this 1 minute long, about a minute and a half long fight. Which I can't really say for many other areas in this game that I can say that I go out of the way like that.
Now, part of the reason being they don't give him as many big benefits, but many treasure chests in this game also give you, as we've seen, like scrolls as like lore or you know, recipes for alchemy that we don't need because obviously we've played this game enough to know how to alchemize certain things, like the things we need.
Yeah, it's actually for those who have like played the original, you don't need to have the recipe scrolls in order to make a particular potion. As long as you know exactly what it takes to make the ingredients and you have the ingredients, you can make whatever you want. Okay. This was a pretty darn good fight, actually.
Nice.
Yeah, that was, 116. That's a really good fight.
And another habanero stew.
Yep. And we're going to go right here, drop down one more right here.
Yeah, the other thing about alchemy is the most important thing is the last thing that you put in the potion. So, like, you could fill it up with a bunch of junk, but if the last thing is a habanero stew, it'll have a fire element.
Pretty much. Anyways, we just got skill link. So, increases damage dealt for every skill used in the chain up to 3 times. We're going to max this out so it maxes to 5 times. So if we use 5 skills in a row, our damage increases by 25%. Again, we don't really grind that much in this run for much anything. So anything that we can do to stack up our damage by a significant amount really speeds up a majority of fights. Anyways, this is Wagner here. I'm going to focus because sometimes Wagner is Wagner. Ah, darn it, going the wrong way. Stop running, Wagner. I meant to toss that. I am really tempted to use that toxic right now. Yeah, that'll speed up this fight. Okay, I wasn't sure what you were going to do there. Again, I'm one hit away from dying. Wagner's immune to burn, but not poison. Okay. What are you doing? Are you going to create tornadoes? Please don't create tornadoes.
But kind of the nice thing when he cleared that bar of health there was he was able to stop whatever Wagner was going to do.
Yeah, okay, we're doing pretty good. My PP management is good. Stun him now, hopefully. Oh, no, he's doing something. Okay. And finish him. Good.
Nice.
Whew, okay. It's one of those fights where if you make a mistake, you're dead.
So Wagner basically hates all humans because one of them betrayed his brother and killed his brother.
Yeah, thanks for that, Oswald. Appreciate that. To be fair, I like Oswald as a character in this game, but let's see, I got 79. Yeah. Get this upgraded. And we start working on energetic. And go into ground force. We don't care about energetic. Energetic's kind of bad. But ground force is totally worth going out of the way here for because that's an extra 10% damage if we're attacking while on the ground. Which is nice when we can take advantage of it. But honestly, we really want to be air juggling. So I like to buy 9 eggs. We're going to make an omelet. So we're going to go ahead and take, where is it? There it is. We're going to take these 9 eggs and... No, not the cheese, just the eggs.
Yeah, so he's going to turn this into a super powerful yogurt. And the way yogurt works in this game is as soon as you take it, the amount of EXP you have goes up by a significant amount. At a level 8, it doubles the amount of EXP that he will get from food for a short amount of time. So this is why he's been patiently saving up everything that he has built up over the course of the run, so he can just eat it all in one go. If he didn't, he would reach level 24. Now that he has used this, and this also stacks with the meals that the pukas will feed you, which you have to give them a special type of coin in order to get. So he's doing all this right now, and it's going to get him to hit level 29.
29, what? 24.
24, sorry, 29 is Gwen. 24 is Cornelius, my bad.
Yeah.
We were prepping Gwendolyn earlier, and I still have some things remembered from that. Yeah, but it's still, he would go up significantly fewer amount of levels.
So, yeah, I just jumped nearly 10 levels right there alone, which basically that's all the experience points I'll ever need. But if I didn't do that right before this chapter, this next mid-boss is the worst thing ever. Period. I don't care what anybody else says. I hate the airship boss.
Hugo.
No, Hugo's actually playable. You have no idea. Yeah. Plus, not only that, getting the extra levels actually does a pretty sizable increase to our damage output alone, so it's worth the time. But after that, I really just don't care. The only thing I care about right now is getting a little bit more. I'm currently at 339 money. I would like to have... I need 535 gold in this chapter.
So this boss is awful in every incarnation. Gwen has a similar one that you fight at the Snowy Mountain. It's just a blimp that you can hit the two
Okay, where he
balloons
comes
here.
in.
It just loves to knock you away, and there's a bunch of enemies nearby
Okay,
to
let's see.
mess with your combo. In short, not a particularly fun or easy boss fight.
It's the chaos of it more than anything else. Just the chaos. Okay, things are going well enough now. Plasma Circle, because it's actually a little safer with Plasma Circle up.
Yeah, so he does have a drop-down menu where he can look at all of his skills. Neat thing you can do in this game is actually rebind all of your abilities so that you can have like a bit of a shortcut, like up circle, down circle, neutral circle, right circle.
Okay, that's dead.
Nice.
Okay, as soon as that's dead, this fight just became a lot easier. Okay. No, okay, dodge it. I still have to be somewhat mindful here because the doors from below, if they spawn some more, they'll throw bombs up here, and sometimes they peg me really good. But it's okay, we're done. First try. I am super happy with that.
Nice job.
For whatever reason, the airship boss, no matter where you fight it, always seems to drop like level 7 or level 6 healing potions, and I don't know why. Not that I complain, those are really powerful potions. But we had to come past that guy because we had to fight this. Because this fight gives us a key. And good. Ah, I love doing that. It feels good when you just get fights that like sub 20 seconds. Like, it's just one of those satisfying feelings, you know, when you do a fight just right. Okay, good. Oh, right here. So my number is 400 gold. I think I should have enough items to sell, and I can avoid opening some chests. Again, I need that magic number of 535 gold. After that, I'm done. I don't need to open up any more chests.
So you've been playing a rabbit for 15 minutes now, but where are the carrots? Haven't seen any.
There are carrots. There are carrot mandragoras. What those fuse into is actually healing potions, though.
Which are completely useless.
Yeah, because food gets you all the healing you need, and in most fights, it's very slow to drink a potion, and you're vulnerable, which is even worse. So you don't want to use them unless you absolutely have to, and usually when you do, it's just sort of a moment of shame.
I really don't want to drink a healing potion. I'm better than this. All right. Oh yeah, Lucky Mix. That's brings good luck. Things might transform into random things you don't really care about. Spin to win. Stop blocking. Stand right here. We got another mini boss here, but it's a pretty like standard mini boss here. So if we have like any plugging to do, this would be a great time. Ow. Let's see. Really kind of annoyed there. I dropped the combo. There we go. That's what I want to do. Into an error. Oop.
Almost lost a chain there.
I know. I really don't want to lose the chain now that I'm over 125. Ow. Oh,
Well, there it goes.
jerk. Very rude. What? Okay, that was weird. I could have sworn I was holding square.
And done.
Yep. All right. And we got the key so we can go fight the boss of this chapter, but we actually do want to pick this up. Like I said, I needed a specific amount of money, and it's because of this guy right here. So I have 442, so let's go ahead and sell this. This. Apple seeds. Yeah, okay, plenty of money. Apple seeds sell for a lot, and I got a few lucky drops. We're buying 3 Mars Bangles. This is going to increase our damage output even further. So we take 48% more damage, and we deal 48% more damage. We take and deal 48% more damage. It also has a side effect as well, where it's kind of like danger strats in Paper Mario, where the lower your health is, the more damage you deal. So now I actually want to stay at really low HP in addition to everything else I'm doing in order to get more damage, which is kind of tricky. So hopefully if I ask nicely to Mercedes, she will only slap me in the face and not kill me.
Mercedes is another character, princess and later queen of the fairies. A lot of her strategies revolve around like ranged attacks, so it can be really annoying. You really want to be up close and personal in this fight.
Yeah.
Also, as you can tell, she screams quite loud every time she gets hit. It is equally annoying when you play as her. She's sort of the one character in the game that nobody particularly likes to play as because, in Ozzy's case...
Oh, there's some that will adamantly defend her. Like, they really enjoy her style of gameplay, and that's all well and good, but I don't.
Nobody I've talked to, anyways. Very mash-heavy and a little simple.
Well, for me, she's kind of like the antithesis of what I enjoy speeding running this game for. Like, the melee combat is what I really enjoy about this, and even all the other characters in this game are melee characters that have unique ways to juggle, unique ways of using skills, different strategies. She, on the other hand, has a resource where you have to stop what you're doing in order to reload all the time. I do not like doing it.
Yeah, so Ozzy here has done a all characters, all books run, as it's called, which is there are 5 main stories in this game, and then there's sort of a bonus story where you do a bunch of different things as all the characters in one little story, like a bunch of little bosses.
Yeah, it's basically a boss rush for the final book. Yeah, it's like a 7-hour run. So, yeah, I don't do it all that much.
Yeah, as you can see, like from what we've done so far, there really are not very many breaks in this game. So having to commit to a run that long without like any cutscenes that are like reasonable length to like take a break, as well as breaks on your hands, because as we're doing a lot of combat, so there's a lot of mashing, and especially in Mercedes. So it's a very long run with essentially no breaks.
Exactly. That's part of the reason why I don't like doing it either. I mean, we skip cutscenes so fast in this game, and there's just no downtime.
Yeah, I really think more games should have a cutscene skip system like this one. What you could do is you can skip this current cutscene, or you can just skip every cutscene from now until the next time you get to play. It's very nice for speedrunning. Especially because it doesn't force you to like skip this one, and skip this one, and then skip this one. Because some of the cutscenes in this game are admittedly chained together and take a decent amount of time. I still think the story and cutscenes in this game are not bad. They're a little they're very theatrical, but it has like its own like unique kind of storytelling that I don't see in a lot of games anymore. Like it's not like a fantastic story, but just it's got a lot of flavor to it, and a lot of like little moments that make it really worth playing.
It's got charm.
Charm, it's a good word for it.
Oh, also, shortcut. That just saved me 30 seconds on my actual PB run. I've yet to get an PB with that new skip in it. So maybe still potential. I've been doing all right so far. So my current PB with Cornelius is 121.42. So.
And that's using the in-game time, correct?
Yeah. We use in-game time for official timing runs of this game because the in-game timer does not stop if you pause the game at all. And it's actually fairly accurate. The only thing it doesn't clock is loading times, which is perfect if you care about running this like on PlayStation 3 where the loading times are slightly longer.
Yeah, so this version came out on PS3, PS4, and PlayStation Vita. I heavily recommend this game. It's a great game. It was already a pretty solid game on the PS2, but a lot was added to Leifthrasir to make it a much more versatile and much more fast-paced game. The nice thing, too, is this version also has a mode that essentially you can play the original game, like,
as intended. The only difference is that it fixed one of the biggest complaints people had with the original game was lag. Like, the original PlayStation 2 version of Odin Sphere was notorious for its lag. What the? Oh.
It was kind of surprising because it was like a 2007 game.
It came very late in the PlayStation 2's life cycle, and it was considered like it won like best RPG of the year when it came out.
Yeah, Vanillaware I think is just a very, in general, really good developer at like kind of improving on their past work. Muramasa was originally a Wii game that got ported to PS Vita, and then that got a lot of changes. This game got a lot of quality of life changes. They also made games like Dragon's Crown, and I believe their next upcoming one is like, what is it, 13 Sentinel?
Yeah, 13 Sentinels. And that one I'm actually really looking forward to because up until now, all their games have been some sort of fantasy setting in some fashion, and that's the wrong room. Where 13 Sentinels it seems to be taking a much more modern world.
Yeah, it's a very urban style.
Very urban, uses mechs. So
one day, hopefully, we'll get some more information out. I know our buddy Ghoul has been like,
yeah, our
like,
friend Ghoul has been like, please, this sounds amazing. Please show us more. Okay, I'm being very careful here because these bombs are really annoying. Okay, am I through? I wish I took a little bit more damage. Oh well. Alright, mini boss time against this thing.
hey, it's RPG Jerkbird.
It's not purple, doesn't work.
Hey, all birds are jerks. So, and this is an RPG, so close enough.
Alright. Yeah, the one thing I do have to be somewhat mindful during this fight when I'm air juggling is this boss will periodically spawn fire elementals on the bottom screen. And nothing is worse to be air juggling this boss, and then, you know, you run out of it, you know, air time essentially, and you fall right on a fire elemental and you die. It's really annoying. I was too high up. Couldn't keep the juggle going. And we're good.
Nice.
And a level 4 toxin. That's really nice. Alright. Anyways, we got the flame here, and then we can open this up, which as soon as it disappears, teleport because its door opening is slow. There we go. What? I know how to play this game, I swear. Anyways, this boss is probably one a lot of casual audiences really despises. This is Leviathan. Don't be fooled by his size. He is a pretty big threat.
It's just a baby version. He'll grow up and be a big nuisance.
One day I'm going to destroy the world.
He actually is a really tough boss in the end of Gwen's story.
He's still a tough boss in this story.
Yeah.
So right now, the crown that he was wearing is currently knocked off. Okay.
Much of this fight is trying to keep up the damage so that you keep the crown off.
Hopefully we won't find out what happens if he gets the crown.
Okay, good. Get him in the launch. Keep him in the launch for as long as possible. Because when he's launched in the air like this, he can't do his thing. Okay. Damn. I couldn't do it. He was not cooperative. And Pissy Boss mode? Yep, there's Pissy Boss mode. Alright, I'm going to take disadvantage of this toxin I have. Get him poisoned again and speed this fight up. Right now he's completely immune to stun, and he has a lot of well, I'm really glad I used that toxin. He gave me another one. Okay.
Preferably, you can finish him nearby so that Ozzy can grab the toxin as soon as this fight ends, because there's a brief cutscene, or a brief waiting period between the cutscene and when you finish him. Of course, we still have a phase to go. Oh, no.
I went the wrong... I dodge rolled the wrong way, and I got nuked.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was 1,200 damage I just took. That is more... That is almost double my health. So, yeah. That is why we don't make fun of Leviathan when he's pissed. Okay, well...
Unfortunately, we lost the toxin drop there. Hopefully he drops another one, but there's no guarantee.
Yeah. Yeah, right there. He just dropped a freaking healing potion. Thanks. Great consolation prize.
I think he's just taunting you.
Ah, I was really hoping I could follow that up.
He does need to be careful he doesn't attack an enemy that's guarding too much, otherwise they can get a counterattack. Which is no bueno.
Okay, good. I stopped.
Nice.
Can I launch him? Okay. Okay. Even though he's got the crown on. In fact, I got to launch before he went and did his angry thing. Actually, my health is really good right now. Because I do more damage when I'm in critical threat range. Okay. I do not want to die again, so we're going to kind of wimp out. I'm just going to use the Ice Spirits as protection.
Every time I open that, I'm like, is he going to use the healing potion? He's going to use the healing potion.
No, Ice Spirits is faster. And I don't lose my damage buff when I heal. I lose the damage buff when I heal, but I don't lose the damage buff with Ice Spirits. You're doing Kamehameha? Yep.
Ah, that's good. Good job on the rebound.
Yeah. I'm a little salty. I don't like dying to this boss because it's such a long fight to redo. Alright. Strike Ray. And then we're going to go ahead and get Spark Bolt upgraded once. And I believe we're going to go ahead and get Stun Striker upgraded once. Stun Striker, if an enemy is dizzy, like from our Stun Bolt, then we deal an extra 15% more damage.
So here we are in the quote-unquote epilogue, which is another way of basically saying the character's last chapter.
Yep.
So we're heading off to the final boss, which is in the alleyways of the town, the Titania, the capital city of the kingdom that Cornelius is the prince of.
Yep.
So essentially, the entire time he's been trying to find the person who cursed him in order to, get his original form back.
Well, he eventually did find out how and why and stuff like that, and then he realized, oh, to break the curse is kind of a challenge. The Pukas are currently trying to break the curse by gathering every single Valentina coin in the world. And yeah, that's a lot of money. So really, there is no other way to break the curse. But really, just go and play the game for yourself if you want to know more about the story and the characters, because I do think the characters are generally really good. The story is at least entertaining for what it is. I sat through it all.
There's a lot of little quality of life things to this game, too. Although you're pretty much only hearing grunts, this game is fully voiced, and it does have a split English and Japanese voice. So just for people who are, adamant dub sub fans, pick your choice.
This way. This one. Yep. And get them all stunned. And again, we do more damage when they're stunned like that. Okay, now the big ones come out and stun.
It's a lot of lag you're generating there, relatively speaking.
And we're through the fight. Look at all those Fozons I don't care about. Feels weird.
Hey, it's a recipe for something you don't need.
Yep. The only thing I'm coming over here for, because I got to get a key in order to open a gate. And to get to the first mini-boss of this level, this fight's kind of a joke. We are introduced to the Wizard Eyes, which are actually kind of annoying. Because I have to... There. But that's it. That's the fight. Woo. We fought them.
9
Not
seconds.
a 5-second fight. I'm sad. But we got the key. This next fight, though, is kind of hectic, so we'll see how it goes. Oh, nice. Got an apple out of that. So, where is he? Okay. Stun him, and then we're going to go ahead and take this Blaze, take Fire Spirits, combine it with the Napple just so it lasts a little longer.
Do you ever use the Overload potion you got as well?
I save it for the final boss because you just can wail on him so consistently hard.
Yeah, the Overload gives just bonus damage for a short period of time.
Very short period. It does not last long. In fact, I often wonder if it's even worth the time it takes to drink it.
This is one of your classic RPG slime type bosses, where every time you do a certain amount to it, it splits up into more. In this case, it summons a bunch of mooks.
Oh, it splits off again, like this. And now it's 2 separate health bars, and it'll split one more time to make 4. You'll notice that the little guys will now start to bounce around the room. This is where Stun Bolt becomes super important, because Stun Bolt makes it so they are less likely to bounce across the room. I'm kind of keeping an eye out on my foes on count. Because also it's spawning all these little mini slimes as well. Each one of those little mini slimes is level 45. I'm still level 33. So by the end of this fight, I will be level 35.
He was 31 when he came in here, too.
Okay, I really wish I had a better way of fighting this boss, but this is really it, because if it wasn't for the fact that this boss just bounces around so much whenever you attack him, there's other options. It's just, they don't stand still, and I need, like, look at this, stop bouncing around. This is why Stun Bolt's so important. I wish there was a faster way to fight this boss. If there is, please let me know that's actually usable in a speedrun, because I have tried so many times, because otherwise this boss just goes on forever because there's just so much crap on screen. Alright, we're done. Get out of here. That's why I didn't care about Phozons. I literally came out of that fight with like 200 plus Phozons. And you can actually farm that boss pretty well for Phozons as well. I think the most I ever came out of that fight was like 700. Ow. Wizards. Thankfully, we do not have to fight a wizard boss in this run. There's one character in particular has to fight a wizard boss, Scaldi, and Scaldi is terrible. Yeah, I have no word for a wizard boss. I wish I could show you, but I'm only showing you this guy, this run today. What am I saying? I don't wish to show you. I don't even want to fight that boss. I really don't like that boss. He basically warps around the room randomly, and sometimes he's like, I want to stay and fight. And like, and other times I just like, nah, I'd rather run. All right.
So yeah, at this point, he's not even picking up food.
I don't care.
Yeah. There's also, like, it's really not worth it to go for something like a mulberry at this point, because things just give him ridiculous amounts of EXP. That something that gives only like 20 doesn't matter at this point.
Yeah, this game escalates pretty quickly in terms of just like damage scaling. Like I think it was nearly 20 minutes ago I was doing like 100 damage a hit. Now I'm doing 300 now.
Yeah. It's kind of nice because of the way the game tells its story, its pacing is rather quick for each character. Casually, it would take like somewhere between 6 to 8 hours, depending on how tough you have, or how tough a time you have.
There you are.
So, unlike, you know, a lot of RPGs where there's a lot of like a lot of grinding or just, you know, slower movement, this game is just all, you know, at a pretty darn fast pace.
All right, here's the mini boss I have to fight. Hit me good, please. I could use a little bit more damage, sir. I'm not nearly in critical threat range. Could you please smack me in the face a little harder?
You're making that kind of difficult.
I mean, I could get up and do it, but I don't think that's what you're wanting, Ozzy.
Stay back. The auto block kicked in. I have ways of hurting myself, just not in most levels. Okay, half health. A little lower than half. That's decent at least.
It is admittedly kind of comical hearing a character's like, you know, pain, like grunts of pain that happens so quickly in succession that the sound clip can't even loop properly. So it's just like
This is why Mercedes is terrible, because she has the worst annoying sound for whenever you're juggling her. Alright, are you gonna die now? You're gonna die now, right? Totally gonna die. Right?
Oh, just one more. There we go. Good show.
Alright, now we can just make a straight beeline to the final boss, which is Belial. Belial is kind of a joke. It's kind of funny. Belial's the first boss you face in the entire game as Gwen, and it's the last boss you fight as Gwen. As Cornelius. Oh, I got hit in the face by a Magi. I'm actually really happy. I'm in 125 HP. That's perfect.
It was completely intentional.
It was? Okay. I'll take your word for it, Worm. You
Just
seem
go
to know
for
what
it.
you're doing.
I believe the speedrunner term is RNG manipulation.
I just like taking random damage to my face all the time. So, alright, we're just going to nuke this boss down, because I don't care what I leave this fight with. So we're just going to do this, then we're going to do this, and then we're going to create a Ice Spirits, because we don't want to heal ourselves again. And we're going to take this Overload and literally make it as strong as we can and drink.
Even though this is the final boss, he is not immune to poison or fire, so those damage ticks are going to add up.
Okay, okay, these stupid Magi's are actually hurting me way too much than I would like to admit. I want to make a blaze for this real quick.
He needs to be very careful because
Yeah,
he
he
gets
just
sucked in.
healed himself for a lot. There was so many healing items on the ground, and I couldn't stop him from eating it.
So that inhale, he's going to inhale like basically anything in the room. If he gets you in his jaws, he does a ton of damage. Which at this point we can't afford to take hits.
And I just took a hit. Push you back into the fire. Please continue roasting. Thank you. And please don't heal. Thank you. Okay. That was the final boss. It's not quite time yet. Time is when we exit the final save prompt.
That was a pretty good run. I mean, apart from the 2 deaths.
Yeah. It's really hard to get a definite time, by the way. There we go.
Good show.
1:22:23, so about 40 seconds off my personal best.
Not bad.
Yeah. Like I said, it's really hard to just get a deathless run because it's one of those high risk, high reward speed runs where you purposely set it up so where you have the highest likelihood of just dying at any time.
Yeah, there's just a lot of game knowledge that kind of goes into this. It may look like he's just mashing buttons, but there's a lot of, a lot of chaining things together, doing things at the right time. It's a really, I just genuinely think this is a really neat video game, and I hope you all enjoyed.
Yep. Thanks, everybody, for watching me. Guys, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just so tired.
Ozzy's not usually a night owl, so.
No. I leave that stuff to crazy people like you. All right, I am ready to move on to the next run. How about you guys?
I am definitely ready. Thank you very much, OC, for that really, really interesting run.
Yep.
Coming up next, we're going to have Shrek Extra Large, run by Silo Simon. So in the meantime, we're just going to play a really quick ad, and then we'll be